ladies and gentlemen. This is Hollywood Matt Connelly. Welcome to the show with the double biceps. It is in the contract, a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera. We've got the legend in the house here. You can see the legendary forearm and bicep of none other than the original, the respected, the esteemed Hollywood. And that is, of course, Hollywood Don Underwood. Welcome to the show, my friend.
My man, hey, listen, I'll give you a double, but I've got a torn one on this side. You know, it don't look too bad nowadays.
Wow,
it's rolled up there pretty tight.
Well,
yeah. So
was that from arm wrestling?
No, I bitch slapped somebody.
What you had like a and it just
I warned the person and open hand slap, and next thing you know, I was like, well, that wasn't a good idea. So
oh no. Did you do more damage to them than they did to you?
No, fuck no. No. Never lucky enough. Those were, you know, when you say you learn the hard way, I've learned every lesson in life that way, man. I tell you. And it's made me a really good human at this point. So sometimes bad decisions, you know, but like I said, if you're struggling, you try hard, you'll get where you need to. And that was one of the probably not the best decisions. Like I said, I tore my bicep, but still haven't got it fixed.
Yeah, well, they've got to roll it out and reattach the tendon to the elbow.
I was dangerous. I had just lost 3-2 to Travis Bajent in a war. So that tells you where I was. Left-handed coming off Game of Arms. And matter of fact, we were filming for season 2. That never made nobody ever seen that match. I mean, I busted him up.
Right.
And that's too bad. That was a good one. He came back and got smart and got me, like I say, 3-2. But that was a hell of a battle. I miss left-handed pull. I'm still really good left-handed until you get me supinated, and then I fold like a cheap suit.
Yeah, that's what's disappointing about that season of Game of Arms, because everyone wants to see the matches and they never bloody released anything.
Well, I can tell you that season 2 made season 1 look like a training video for a really messed up company. It was devastating. It was the matches. It was so violent, so just raw, you know, and then bringing in Devon's knucklehead and switching the teams up the way they did. Me and Devon had a crazy, crazy war. I had been up for days. I was just a mess back then, man. So, you know, like I said, I hope what I'm becoming now is just, you know, multiplied version of what I was of that hot mess back then. I legitimately, I can't wait to see you in person. I think it doesn't equate. If you've known me a long time, I've always been a big and intimidating guy. And I'm in good shape. Like I said, I'm running between 275 and 282 any given day. Just nasty strong everywhere. And learning how to arm wrestle again. I've lost to some guys that are tremendously weaker than me, and it's really motivated me to learn a lot of the you know, the IQ has changed so much. Strap in general, you can get a guy 30% your strength and lose to him, and it's embarrassing to a guy like me. I'm not taking anything away from them because they've earned their win, if you will, with the time they've put in. Because I've got educated a couple times, and it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to keep happening. I promise you. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things with you had that time away with the injuries and the hip surgeries, and you know, you're on this sort of comeback trail at this point. And you know, some of the results that we've seen recently, you know, where you've had tournaments and that sort of thing. I was saying this on the podcast yesterday. It's so different when you're in a tournament format, because you don't know the opponent most, like, unless you are actually familiar with them and you happen to draw against them, you have no idea what this person's going to be doing until you step up on the table, and it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to do my best thing and just hope it works. And everyone knows you, and everyone knows your skill set, and it's like, all right, I've imagined this match against Don Underwood for 20 years of what I'm going to be doing, and you meeting them for the very first time, and it's so different in a tournament setting as opposed to a super match setting where you know the opponent, you
Right.
can study them, you can see where they're strong, you've got a game plan going in, which is what we're seeing for yourself on the 25th of January against Rickard Bourneman at Knuckles Up 5 in New Jersey. So when you've got an opponent that you can study, that you know, and you can have a game plan for, as opposed to just a random person that pops up in a tournament, it's such a difference.
Well, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I'm a stubborn old arm wrestler that when you become an elite arm wrestler, I don't. The less I know about you, the better. I used to think. I've watched very little footage of this guy. He looks strong. I've asked questions. I've kind of dug around a little bit, but I haven't lost any sleep over it. What I have done is focused on me and my power and all my weaknesses, injuries, and so forth. Because if I perform at my best, it's going to be very difficult for anybody, whether it's John Berzank at one point down to whoever, will have problems. So I'm kind of doing it that way. It may be the wrong direction. If this guy is the new it man, then we'll know after Saturday. Because if he does anything special, especially if he really runs through me, then I got news for you. Everybody better be scared, because I am a sick human being right now. Every single lift, my hand, my wrist, everything about me is ridiculous. So again, until you physically walk in and see the difference of what I was, let's just say Arizona State last 6 months ago, completely different guy. You wouldn't recognize me. You're like, is that you? And it is. And it's just the beginning. And that's the even the more scary part of it, is that I wasn't even supposed to come out until the middle of this year.
You couldn't resist.
Well, it wasn't that. I even in these losses. So let me give you a little breakdown. I will go pull a tournament after I train every single day of the week, including Friday. I'll be there Saturday, completely just ripped apart because I put in, a 1,000 rep workout. So when I prepare, like this week, I trained Monday. I think was the last day I trained. I was going to blood load today. We got busy, but I'll do some cardio and get everything moving Saturday morning. So I feel pretty confident that I didn't even do legs. We was going to do legs today, but I wanted to be everything to be 100% relaxed and rested. This is a young guy, young stud. You hear rumors of, I wish him the best. Like I said, I hope he is what everybody, thinks he is. And I'm not sure if he, what they really think, because nobody's really abroad about their text. Oh, that's a bad matchup. And I'm wondering, well, are they talking about bad matchup for me or bad matchup for him? Because, who knows? I want it to be a good show. I'd love to educate him on what it's like to overlook somebody, especially somebody with talent that's been there and that wants it really, really bad again.
Yeah.
So it's the beginning for me. I have no intentions of slowing down. If I'm never great elite again, then hopefully I'm at least trouble for everybody in the middle of it. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's my goal.
We were so happy to get that match set up, and I know that Rickard is over the moon about having a match against an absolute legend like yourself, and I think him and his whole family were all like celebrating about having the matchup. When you talk about legends of arm wrestling, your name is always on the list, and it's like, for him to have his first big international match against somebody like yourself, it's a real honor, and
Yeah.
we're very much excited about it, regardless as to what the result is, whether you win, whether he wins. But stepping up on that stage and gripping up with Hollywood Don Underwood is a really special moment for him.
Well, I appreciate that, and for a lot of these guys, I get it. The comeback's the hardest part when you stand on top of the mountain. It's lonely. It's lonely up there, and I was number one in the world for a while.
Yeah.
Beating, Devin, beating the guys that mattered,
Yeah.
and beating them convincingly. When I didn't think I earned, I don't know. It's like I said, my story will come out slowly. But like I said, the new version is, I just hope it's the best version ever. And if it is, it's going to go a long way. Like I said, I'll be 53. I was watching some videos at the gym, and I ran across Rich Lupke's at 63, still killing everybody. So I know that I have the opportunity, to put the work, as long as I put the work in and the time. These young guys they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to go. This sport is not going to die. When we go away, it's going to be here, and it's going to be here for many, many years. So I just want to be as relevant as long as I can be. And for you to say the things that you're saying is so kind. I appreciate it. And if they truly feel that way, then I should get the best out of him, because he's going to want to take that win. And I'm just the opposite. I don't want him to have it. And I want to send him home all kind of upset, thumb in his mouth in the fetal position, all the things. Like when he came back from that uncle you don't want to visit on the weekend.
Well, the fun thing for us is obviously Richard Borman is South African. He's from South Africa, but
Yeah.
because he's been training in Australia, we're claiming him as the Australian, an honorary Australian. If he wins, if he doesn't, he's going to be South African.
Get on back home, mate. Yep.
That's right. Let me bring up. I've got a great shot here of this Arm Wars moment when you're sort of at your peak here. Great matchup against Devin Larratt here. And for anyone who doesn't know Don Underwood and his skill set, have a look at that, just rolling through Devin. You destroyed some of the best guys in the world that night.
It was a good day. The best part of it was watching Devin go through all that mental anguish. And the first hit, I false started, and it was a micro fraction early, and I buried him. And as soon as I did, his facial expression changed. What he done that day was typical in Devin fashion, be cocky and let people pull. And he didn't realize that on the other side of the bracket, there was some real players, Yoshi Kanai, me, Travis, and some other, real Tim Bresnan and so forth. He played around with those guys. Tim Bresnan got a win on him. Well, here's the thing. I broke Yoshi's arm first match.
Yeah.
Yoshi was actually picked to win this whole thing. When I broke Yoshi's arm, or tore his bicep, the tendon blew off his arm. He had just beat Michael Todd prior to that. So we were still running as band brothers back then. So it was personal for me. I had every intention, and it was bad for Yoshi. And I hated to see him get hurt. He's a wonderful human. But I ruined his day. But what it did is, I got all that blood loaded in my arm, and then I got to rest. I'm not sure I could have beat him because his stamina is so good. But when I did get loaded up and all that blood, I actually warmed up properly, grabbed Travis and drummed him like, yeah, that was a walk. He wasn't prepared for me. And then Devin, again, posing, goofing off, trying to do some more than he should have. He just went a little deep into the well, and I was fresh as anybody could have been. And, well, there's a lot of politics involved. We end up tying on this thing. As you can see right there, I was letting him do what he wanted. And he was running as fast as he could and trying to do everything he can. But at the end of the day, we end up tying. I don't agree with it. Look at the front, his elbows off the front of the pad. He's yelling at the ref, mine's on the back. He's pushing the whole time, and they're running. They're listening to him. I pinned him 13 times that day. We end up tying. So, good day in arm wrestling. Ask anybody on that balcony, and they'll tell you I was the best arm wrestler in the world that day.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And Arm Wars, a big props to Arm Wars and Neil Pickup. That background there is one of the most iconic moments, I think. Is this Las Vegas you were in?
Las Vegas, yeah. We actually could not get a venue because of some terroristic levels that we were at. So when we denied this, he went ahead and rented a presidential suite at the MGM Grand and didn't ask permissions, didn't tell him what he was going to do and all the things. And we ran this whole thing up there. Now, he tried to do this again the beginning of last year and had a Sin City reunion, which I actually requested to be at, and he denied me, which I was really, really surprised being a co-winner of that. Wasn't real pleased with that. I lost a lot of, I don't know if it was respect. I don't know what it was. He said the card was full, and it just like, well, if this is a reunion, Devin's there. I won as well. Well, there shouldn't even have been a question. Hell yeah, Don, get your ass here. But again, politics, man, but that's okay. Like I said, I'll do my thing. Hopefully I'll get on a winning track, and we'll make some moves here. And I know that I'm with the World Series now. I've signed an exclusive contract with them to commentate for them solely. So I'm super excited about the opportunity with them. Greg Sharp's I can't come up with enough good things to say about this guy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. I told him a year ago, listen, just if you keep doing what you're doing, and that means continue to, if you say you're going to do something, do it and be consistent, you're going to be the man. And he's done exactly that. And we're getting ready to start getting wild, man. That company's going to grow, and it's going to grow rapidly. So,
oh yeah,
I'm a big part of it, and I can't wait. Like I said, I'm sure that we'll be, as well as I do, you're going to be a part of it with your platform.
Yeah,
I'm super excited for that. Like I said, man, I'll be on as much as you need me. I'm always available. Like all you got to do is just shoot me over a text, and I'll be there.
You're an absolute legend. I appreciate it.
Ours.
Oh, so good, man. I just want to acknowledge a few people in the chat here. We've got Eric Earnhard Harlan, who is the ultimate troll in arm wrestling. He's a very controversial character, but a good guy overall.
Okay.
Yeah, what does he ask here? He says, "Say, Don, are you left-hand dominant now?" Which I
no,
think
that's a left-hand bicep tear.
Right.
I'm right. Yeah. I'm right-handed. That left's pretty jacky, but that right's pretty nasty. 21-inch bicep. I don't even know that forearm somewhere around 18 or 19. It's vascular as hell. I mean, I don't do all that measurement stuff. Not above the waist nor below. I'm just big all over. That's what I tell you.
That's right. We've got RHCP says, ask Donnie his memory of Kenny Hughes, which is an interesting one there.
Kenny Hughes was Kenny was had a lot of demons. I love Kenny. Loved Kenny. Demon after demon after demon. I've watched him for many years in a pool of you cannot say arm wrestling and not put his name as in one of the absolute greatest there was ever. That guy was insane. the more he drank, the better he got. And that wasn't a good thing for anybody. Um, yeah, love the guy. I hope you're looking at us with a smile on your face and keep crushing them cans, man. You ain't no reason to stop now. Like I said, Kenny is a special human to a lot of us. Um, Great arm wrestler in his time.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. So Lagia agrees with you about your multiple pins on Devon that night. He says that he counts 24. I think you've counted 13.
No, there was a lot. It was frustrating because of what Devon was doing, and he was doing it right. I mean, I do the same thing, but I would do it on hits for foreign guys when I'd go to Manchester. I would just talk. I was just saying dumb shit, talking the whole time. They didn't understand English, so it didn't matter. But they were listening, and I'm just looking at the ref, begging for a go, and I'm whacking, and yeah, I mean, so, and this is what I understand. And listen, Neil has a business to run, and we all make our choices in life. I don't have a problem with Neil at all. But he had a huge contract, not one, but multiple, as Devon being the number one arm wrestler in the world. Contractually, I'm sure there was some money in his pocket for him to pull XYZ, and I couldn't win. I couldn't. First of all, I was a train wreck to start with. Was inconsistent. That was a good day for me. Matter of fact, I drank so much the night before, I couldn't see straight. But buddy of mine, Jesse Gillian, if anybody doesn't know Jesse Gillian's a veteran arm wrestler from Alabama. I just love him to death. He sponsored a lot of arm wrestlers and always had my back. But he told me, if you piss clear, Don, you'll be 100% strength. Be clear. And I wasn't peeing clear when I woke up. So I poured it on. I bet it wasn't every 3 or 4 minutes I was in the bathroom. I mean, I was strong. I was strong. Yeah. So, guys, be clear and you're strong, 100%. So say it, Jesse Gillian.
Oh, there you go. Eric Harlan has popped in as well. He's given a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Eric. And Earn Hard. It's a great nickname there, Earn Hard. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. He's again. I think he was asking about. So Don Underwood, you busted that bicep right-handed. I think it was left. And looking at the stats, it's what about the left? Yeah, I think Don.
It's left-handed. It's the left bicep, guys. You're looking at your computer, so it's gonna be backwards for you.
It's mirrored, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a left-handed bicep tear. I've had success going down to Michael Todd's and top rolling him and Todd Hutchings. I'm pretty decent, still good back pressure, decent cup, but everything else is junk. So if you let me hit on you, I'll probably beat you up. But if you're smart enough, you just load it into my hand and shut me down. I ain't no. But it was on its way to being the best in the world at one point. But
wow.
I don't think I'll do the surgery. I tinker with it a lot. I got a tore rotator cuff in my left shoulder too. So shutting me down for 3 months just isn't something I'm interested in doing. I love this sport enough. If I can arm wrestle, I'm going to be talking about it. So I got a few years left in me one way or another.
Absolutely. Corey McPhee asks, are you ready for Rickard Bornman, which will be January the 25th at Knuckles Up, New Jersey this weekend? It's going to be absolutely massive. First, it's best of 5, so it's first to 3 pins.
I don't think there's a guy on the planet outside of your top 5 elites, maybe top 10 elites, including Michael Todd.
Wow.
That I have no problem lining up with. Nobody's going to pull me over. Not saying I'll beat him, but I'm going to be in the match. Nobody. Listen, I am that guy right now. I'm really strong, really good. I can barely pronounce this guy's name. Listen, I've had Mexican food that's older than he is. So, listen, again, good luck, kid. When you see me, like I said, when I walk in, his eyes will dilate and realize that he's fucked up. It's not the same. It's not what you think's coming in that room. It's not some old dude crippled up. Yeah,
You should hire a guy that is old and like crippled.
yeah.
Tell everyone that's Don over there.
This is a grown ass man that if you walked into an alley and I was in it, you wouldn't want to be in there with me. I assure you.
Oh, there we go. We've got the Aaron Castillo who says, congratulations on the contract with World Series of Arm Wrestling. It's super cool. It is super cool. Greg Sharp is doing incredible things for the sport of arm wrestling, and Don Underwood is the man, the voice that you'll hear at all of the World Series of Arm Wrestling events. Tremendous commentator, makes every event, no matter what you're watching, it does sound like the most entertaining thing. Could be two guys not even at the table and you're like glued to the set because Don Underwood's voice is compelling you to watch.
Yeah, want to make sure that is exactly what we do. If you don't know the sport, I want you to be excited about what is that going on. That guy's funny, or that guy's in detailed about what's going on. I actually understand. And that joke he said was funny. Little things to keep people's attention. And I will take it to the brink. I will push the limits. I'm going to keep it PG 16 and a half. We're going to poke fun. We're going to have fun. We're going to, this sport should be exactly that. It gets a little boring in the tournament situation. So you need somebody to tell some stories, lighten the mood, and just keep the ball rolling, for people sitting at the house. Because, hopefully we've had some ups and downs. We had a 12-hour, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was a long tournament, Arizona State, tremendous event. And I got the pleasure to work with John Thompson. And if you haven't ever heard John Thompson, in my opinion, John Thompson's the best of the best. I think John's the elite commentator. I think he's elite. I think he is. Of course, you always ask people and they say Don Underwood. Well, I got my opinions too. I want John to be the announcer when I'm in the room. We had Washington State here a month ago. Don, yeah, you're going to announce everybody. I go, whoa. So let me just stop you right quick. Like, John Thompson's here. You go, yes, I know. John's going to announce everybody because there's nobody better. And it's a fact. I think the guy is smart. I want him to continue to focus moving forward, and I hope to work with him quite often. But you got to keep people entertained, man. And like I said, there's only a couple of us that are really doing some things here in the States, and John and I are kind of it.
Yeah.
And then you got you and old Jake. He's doing his thing. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get the interview tomorrow with what's happened with the Knuckles Up guys. I don't know. I just heard today. But apparently they've separated, and it is what it is. Jake will have plenty. King of the table. They love Jake. And Jake, remember one thing. I'll give you one little bit of advice. Just be humble and love everyone, and continue to be great that you are, and you will go a long, long way, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. Jake Ward doing tremendous things. The Aussie arm wrestler, we've actually got him on the show later today as well. And he's always an entertaining, charismatic figure in the world of arm wrestling, and brings that level of excitement. And it's a different style of excitement as opposed to what you might get from a Don Underwood, which for me, it feels very much like the classic American sports commentary, like that WWE, like not over the top to that extreme, but it's just like, when you're speaking, it's like, I've got to listen to this because whatever you're saying, it sounds interesting. I think my first experience of hearing you commentate was at Monster Factory, and that
was a good one.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you, well. Let me just run you through this, because this was so first of all, wanted to commentate for a long time. Difficult to get that position, It really is. I mean, everybody's got their own idea of how to run a tournament. They know what they want to do. I'm not one to sit at a computer and do a play-by-play. To me, there's a difference in a play-by-play and a pay-per-view where you have a commentator booth and you're running different people. But you've got people. Your arm wrestling crew out of St. Louis. They'll sit there all day long and do a play-by-play. It's fine. People kind of can listen and go. But I kind of want to do that more entertaining stuff. But the Monster Factory, they had a list. So let's say Ron Bath arm wrestled. Then he came to the table. Then Paul Lynn came to the table. Anyway, they'd have 5 minutes and commentate. Well, I was third on this list. And here was my chance, right? So, I turned on the commentator voice. I turn and look. I do a whole thing. It's a whole character. And I'll look at you, and I'll kind of get a reaction from you, and I'll turn back to the crowd, and I'll kind of explain myself, and we'll go back and forth. And all of a sudden, I seen Rebecca write this note and sends it over to Michael and goes, "Don't change this. Keep him here. This guy is it." And I've known the Todds. I mean, we're family, and that's where it began. But that one, and then the next one might have been the best commentator, because they literally give us an opportunity to have a booth and focus on us as part of the promotion, as part of the event, and it was good. It was absolutely. I was able to be me. I thought Michael was a little far out. I wasn't able to engage, so there was some changing I want to do. And he's already requested, hey, you've got a World Series contract. You're going to be able to work for us. I don't know, Mike. I don't know, but Greg Sharp's a quick phone call away. We'll work it out. But wow, that's kind of what started it. And that's some of the best commentating I've seen. And not to toot my own horn, but that was good shit.
It was fantastic. And it was funny watching the comments because I was watching it live. And as you said, there were people that were jumping in and out 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Some were decent, some were quite quiet.
Right.
Mostly it was the athletes that were competing on the card. And I felt bad for whoever got those headphones, because they'd come straight from the table covered in sweat. And they're like, here's the headphones, sweat all over them. Next person, sweat. I'm like, oh man,
that's fantastic.
You don't want to be the 10th person getting the headset.
Yeah, no, I didn't compete that day, but or maybe I did. I don't know, but I had a great time. It opened up some doors for me, and like I said, I love to do it as much as pulling. Now that I am, I didn't realize I had a major injury. So I had some, there's Tommy John stuff here. I had something, I don't know. I never got it looked at, but the pain that I had in there and the weaknesses I had, sometimes I would just get pulled right over, and I'm like, what is going on? And finally it's kind of tightened up through found some great peptides, some things that helped really get me healed up. I'm a strong believer in holistic stuff. I try to stay away from the doctor as much as I can. Do a lot of reading and research, and I'm in good shape, man. Feel great. But that injury slowed me down for a long time. So I will be surprising a lot of people. A lot of people. There's some new guys in these rankings that I just seen that are ranked like top 10 that I toy with. So it's going to be fun.
I've got a great shot right here at Monster Factory. Have a look at the
holy shit! Here. Look at that fat kid on the right.
But check out what happens here. So we get a start. It ends up in OFF. But look at your reaction right there. Bang! That was the injury you were just talking about.
Bad stuff right there. That is exactly what I'm talking about. All sorts of power. That may have been an additional. And Devin Gagneman is a tremendous arm wrestler. But whatever I did, God, look how big I am.
This is 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm 325 there. I'm 275 sitting here right now talking to you.
Yeah, you said you had to buy a whole new wardrobe, not only because of the size difference, but because you your clothes burnt in a fire.
Yeah, I'm hurt. Yeah, unfortunately, that slowed me down. And Devin was national champion. He was current national champion right there. So I was in the match for a short amount of time, and then it went away. I got one win on him that day, and he ended up winning 3-1. But
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't believe it. I have that shirt. I have that shirt upstairs, and it does not fit quite like that now.
It looks like a dress now.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it while you were talking, and I just saw that exact moment where you winced in pain, and you were just talking about that injury, so you can see
Yeah, it
that
sucks.
the prevalence of it on that day. But this is Monster Factory 2 years ago. I believe this might be the day that you were doing the
It
commentary,
is.
because this is
Yeah,
what
they shoved that XL shirt on a fat kid that day. I remember.
oh, here you go. This is you on the let's put
Whoa,
the
yeah.
audio on. Hey, I'll put the audio on for a second.
Mandibles and laid them into me today. Tell me about what's on your mind coming in. Pulling a guy, with a little pedigree. I've done just about everything you can do. Trying to make a run back, and I'm 50 years old. You young guys are super impressive. You're put together. You train with a hell of a team, and Eric Gerlach and those boys out of Hutchinson. And what was on your mind, and what are you thinking now?
Man,
There you go.
That wasn't too bad. Hell, I was interested in watching that. I sounded like a professional. If I sound like that, then hell, I'll listen to me. That wasn't pretty good.
And that was straight after the match. You could tell that you were still pretty
I had ear sweat. I'll tell you what. I don't know who was there before me, but it smelled like blue cheese. So we need to work on getting that shit down.
I did. I was like, oh man, by like the 9th or 10th person that got that headset, I was like, ooh, you don't know what you're putting on there.
No, you don't. No, salad dressing, French, Russian, blue cheese.
But yes, the comments on that day, on that video, they're probably still live. But as soon as you started talking, and maybe 4 or 5 minutes into it, all the comments are like, wow, this is amazing. Don Underwood's commentary is just so good. Oh, he's the best commentator. Oh, he's incredible. So yeah, it's like, keep him on the table. And everyone was so happy that they kept you on there, because it made such a difference to the broadcast.
That's awesome. That was a great event. I hope Mike gets his stuff together. I know that he had some trips and some finances that moved, and sponsors, and the guy's got a kingdom down there. I don't know what he's doing, but my God, he's got one of the best venues in the world. I don't know. He should have it full every weekend. Reality shows, all sorts of stuff. I keep telling him, and Mike's an individual. Like I said, I love Mike. He's my brother. He's a character.
Well, he might be going for the #1 in the world spot if he wins against Hermes Gasparini. And
Hermes listen, man, I love Mike. I love Mike. Hermes is a nasty human being. But if he does, and God would, I'm on his side. Michael is the guy that will have the best opportunity against LeBron, because I don't know if you could break that busted up arm of Mike's. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can. He's got so much calcification. If it breaks, it's going to make the news in every country in the world.
The explosion.
Where you're going to need safety glasses that day. That shit will put an eye out. If he stops him, it's all done. Michael Todd, trust me, I'll get Michael Todd to the pad, and you ain't pinning the guy. He's got some sort of weirdo shit going on.
That first 2/3, it seems to go okay, and then that last third it's not moving an inch.
And he's worked on his back pressure and his cupping, and that's why I stopped going down there. He would just set up, and he would kick back on a cup on me, and I'm like, I just drove 7 hours. You're going to bleed me out? Really? How about if you try to pin me and we work back and forth? It's frustrating. He's on his own mission. I'm not getting in his way. I love him to death, and I hope he gets there. Being on top of the world is tough. I'll tell you, the hardest part about being there is staying there.
Yeah.
I feel like once I got to #1, I was at #7 Like 2 weeks later, I'm trying to figure that one out. But yeah, I ran backwards really fast. Those guys are legit. If you ain't putting the time in, exercise and training every day, you might get like I said, I was Devin's kryptonite. He didn't bother me. I don't care about his antics. He never impressed me. Ever since I met him in 2000 in Finland, he was just a tall, skinny kid from Canada, and it never changed in my mind. And I think that had a lot to do with it. But, I got around him and got to number 1. Then I hit number 4, then 7. And I tinkered around the top 25 for a few years. But that's a tough place to live, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you win one match, a week later, you may not. Those guys are something special. But I got to tell you, it was an honor being there, and not very many people can say it. So.
Oh, absolutely. What was the feeling like when it was like, okay, look, right now you are the best arm wrestler in the world?
It was self-doubt. As much confidence as I had, I was the most cocky guy in the room, yelling, screaming. I know I was the toughest guy in the room. I'd fist fight anybody and had no problem kicking anybody's ass. But it was weird because I was still a little bit of a shy, kind of doubting myself. It's hard to explain because I was in such a weird place. You get 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and then you realize that you're not at your best. So you try to, pull it back to 6 foot tall and almost bulletproof kind of stuff. And you find a place where you're really good. But I didn't deserve to be there. I was just a talent that made it to where, now in my old age, it gives me a reason to get up at 5:30 in the morning and go put 3 hours of crazy working out in, guys. I beg you, come over and train with me. Most people that do stop after the second set, maybe third, and we've still got 27 sets to go. So, yeah, we get wild, man. I still train with one of the great arm wrestlers, and that's Stephen Green. He don't arm wrestle anymore. Dustin Tomlinson hurt his feelings. Dustin actually is ranked number 11 in the country, right behind Wayne Withers. And, arguably, probably where he belongs. I won't say much more than that. Dustin and I have history. He knows what's up. But I want Dustin to be known. Big old country, 6'4", 280, redhead overalls. You'll know it if he's in front of you. I just know how to arm wrestle. Kind of like when Todd Hutchings pulls some of those guys from back in Boise. He's not much success when you train with somebody every day. You know what to do. But yeah, Dustin's good. And but yeah, so there's a lot of people out there making noise. Hopefully It'll be me again soon.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. It'll definitely be you this weekend, regardless as to the result. Because
we got, I don't know if it's best of 5 or 6. We got 3 or 4 different. We've got plenty of things lined up. If I lose on one, I'll go to a different one. And my corner is stacked. I've got Daniel Worley. If you don't know who Daniel Worley is, then you haven't been around arm wrestling too long. Daniel Worley is one of the best strap arm wrestlers in the world. Michael Moody, very new amateur arm wrestler, is a promoter of a lot of veteran events. And then you probably don't know this name. He's not very good, but I think it's pronounced Bogdan Stoica.
Yeah, we're familiar with Bogdan from the Europe. He had a very good match against one of our top Australian arm wrestlers. And won 5-1.
Freak. And anyway, him and I tightened up at Washington State when he went through one of the absolute best arm wrestlers I know today. One of the Armenians, and him and I talked, and I said, "Hey, would you mind being in my corner?" I don't like a lot of chatter in my corner. I've got my own game plan, but I need people there to where if there is a question, I've got the right people I can ask. And Daniel and Bogdan are them. So Michael Moody has soft hands, so he's going to make sure I get any blood out of my forearm. So Michael, Make sure you moisturize before you leave Jacksonville. It's the only reason you're in my corner, and you're my sponsor, by the way. So, got to get him up there with his company shirt on. I know how to do this.
The softest hands that I've felt in arm wrestling was actually Larry Wheels.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah, so
I think
weird.
he quit. Somebody told me he was done, didn't want to hurt himself or something. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's one of those guys that really gets into certain sports for a particular amount of time,
Right.
and then he'll move on to something else. So maybe he'll come back to arm wrestling at some point. But yeah, at this point in time, I think he's moved on. But yeah, it was weird. I met him here in Australia. He came for a tournament that we had in Brisbane. And I said, "Hey, Larry, nice to meet you." And I shook his hand, and his hand was so soft. It was like putting it.
Soft, yeah.
It was like putting my hand into a cloud, and it threw me off. My next sentence disappeared because I was like, "Huh?"
No, he's a powerful man. I was supposed to have a match with him through a big church out of Arizona. Never did hear back from him. I think Larry ended up doing something different. Not sure that would have worked out too well for him, but it would have been fun nonetheless. And I wish him all the best. Now we got to deal with another guy, a little smaller though. What's his name? Brian Shaw, something like that.
Yeah, a little smaller.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
What did you think of their match, Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw?
I thought it was a lot better than a lot of people give it. Thought it would be. Eddie doing his thing, talking, which was fine. I think he was working the entertainment side of it. Surprisingly, I think Eddie with he's got a good trainer. I mean, Neil is absolutely one of the best arm wrestlers there ever was out of the UK. He pulls like an amateur top roller, but he's very strong. If he'd tighten that up and get his back in there and just core lock and hit, he'd be dangerous. I think both of them have an opportunity to do something with it. I hope they stick around. They've got big enough names and a good enough draw that, any eyes on us right now is good. So this year we're going to try to make a splash. I don't know, man. I might try to break the law or something on stage. I'm not sure. I'm going to do something to get some national news attention. We're going to have to figure something out, no, we have a bunch of big plans, a lot of talent in the room, and this sport is on the verge of doing it again. It's just we got to figure out and flip a coin who it's going to be.
Yeah, that's right. So you've got decades of experience in the arm wrestling world. Do you have a particular moment, a favorite moment that stands out above the rest?
The greatest moment of my arm wrestling career was winning the Arnolds, beating Devin. Lost to him day one, beat him the first round. I actually outsmarted him. Got him thinking I was going to do what I did the day before. Led him up on a side hit, got a parallel, and then was able to pull Ryan Espy twice, clamp down, let him hit. I remember just smiling and then did it again and just buckets and sit down on the side of the stage. So surreal to win. First of all, at the Arnold Classic then was the premier. There wasn't a tournament in the world that was even close to winning the Arnolds, because you have to be a national champion from all these countries all over the world. You have to be the winner. And if you can't make it, then you're second place, third place. But either way, you're a huge, huge talent group. This is the elite of the elite, and not only once, but twice I won it. The first time, I sit on the stairs and just wept.
Wow.
That was something I'll never forget. And then getting my award from Stallone was the cherry on top. Won it again in 12. Not the same feeling. There was a good pool, but when you beat the number one arm wrestler and then you had a slew of just ridiculous pullers in that 10 class, that was it. And then, of course, Game of Arms, seeing your commercial for the first time on national television was a pretty cool deal, but nothing compares to winning the Arnolds.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to find the footage of it here, but I've got Dennis Saplenkov in in the shot at the moment, but it just shows you the quality.
Dennis pulling Rich is probably the greatest match ever, besides Rich Lepke's and John Brzezinski. The arms. I've been to almost every one of them. Rich just didn't know how to arm wrestle. It's sad because he had him beat. All set up there, slow down, elbow forward, top roll him, finish him. Rich Lepke's strongest arm wrestler ever to do this sport. And this guy at this time is 58, 59 years old.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's right. And you can see the frame on him. Just bringing back memories here. This is 2011.
Listen, I pulled him plenty. And I had a super match with him in Florida. And for some reason, Florida's got the most screwed up rules in arm wrestling. I don't think I'll ever arm wrestle down there again.
Oh.
They've got some strange stuff going on. But I'd pull Rich, and I pulled him over, called him false start, and then we slipped, and then he beat me. And then they gave us an hour break.
An hour?
Yeah. So all these super matches were in it, but you'd pull one match and you'd have a break until it came back around to you. Now, Rich is known for stamina issues. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to load up in his hand. If I lose him, he's going to blow up after 2. I'll win 3-2. Yeah, no, not the case. Rich was, I lost 3-0, unfortunately. And I think I was ranked like 7th or 8th in the world that day. So
wow,
he's a nasty, strong human being. But I'll tell you what, also one of the most humble men I've ever met in my life. He's an amazing human. Oh, Michael and Dennis, that's a hell of a match there too.
Yeah,
this is day 2. I think this is day 2. This is when Mike loses.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Dennis was probably at top of his game around this time.
Well, Michael beat him day 1.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He's dropping down to that.
Oh, Michael's already knows. He's like, no, I'm going to win. Because once Michael stops the match, it's over. Look at him. He don't even care. Now, look, Mike talking. This match is over. I'm winning this, man. He does, dude. I love that guy so much. Look at him talking. He already knows I'm going to win this match.
That's right. Looking out to the crowd.
Look at him. He don't care. Break that son of a bitch, he says. And he's talking the whole time. He's talking to his girl, and watch him get up there and just get behind it and just press him right through it.
Oh, there you go. It was an elbow foul, I think.
Nasty. Yeah, Mike wins this one.
Fantastic.
I think. Oh yeah. Watch his setup. He's going to shove straight side. I can tell you what, Mike. Bye.
Let's see the start.
He'll drive and then he'll turn into
there
a top roll. He'll run back to a top roll and dive.
He's got a nasty press. It surprises a lot of people.
Michael is just so sticky right there. He's got all that damage in that elbow, and he's, they've changed the rules a lot, and he stays in them.
Yeah.
This is before the below, but right here he gets behind and shoves. When he does that, forget about it. I'm going to tell you right now, that's like having a truck run over you. So strong.
Oh, there you go. But that was this is 2011, and you can see the quality of the tournament. I mean, you got Michael Todd, Dennis Saplenkov.
Year after I won. Michael and I's never met at the Arnolds. Year after I won it the next year. Came down to me and that Brazilian, not Barbosa, the what they call him, Caveman Christ, big whatever Brazilian Jesus. What's his name?
Yeah, I saw it here a second ago.
He just pulled Devin left-handed. I'll see
if I can find it in the background here. But yeah, incredible. And you got Sylvester Stallone awarding the trophy as well.
Yeah, in 10, and then Jason Statham gave him to me in 12. He's a cool cat too. He was really honored to be there. They were doing the Expendables tour. But to get Stallone to get him, and that's some good stuff. It was me. I got first. Ryan Espy got second. Devin Larratt got third.
Wow.
Yeah. So
incredible
I
moments.
Enjoyed that. Devin was so sad.
Is the Arnold still a massive tournament there in the US?
Well, we're going to find out. It got canceled. USAA lost it. And funny story was that Will was doing a an MC for one of the energy drinks. And Arnold's number 2 guy happened to know Will from Knuckles Up. And Will said, man, I sure hate you guys, took arm wrestling out of this thing. I've got an arm wrestling company. And the guy goes, as soon as you get done here, meet me in the office. And he did, and they locked down a contract, and then they got it. And then, I heard through the grapevine, I was talking to a couple guys and said, oh, yeah, the Arnolds, we're going to do this. And they're like, oh, the Arnold's a piece of shit now. Some bums got it. And I go, whoa. First of all, I got the contract to MC this thing. I can already tell you that it's not going to be a bad thing. So, unfortunately, some people out there lost their contract and they're a little bit sour about it. And, are saying some things, but we're going to find out because this is the first year back. And let me tell you something, the schedule is brutal. And me being the commentator for 3 straight days is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever done. Friday is qualifications. Saturday, we got main stage for an hour. Sunday, we have main stage for 2 hours. There's going to be super matches, round robins at the 40 by 30 kiosk, which is, if you've ever watched Knuckles Up pay-per-view, it's going to look just like that. 40 by 30 there, bringing that venue into that 30 by 40. So super cool. Looking forward to it. It's going to be, like I say, it's going to be a rough weekend, but we're going to buckle down and do our best. And I won't be arm wrestling. I did qualify for the Arnolds this year. I will not be pulling. I'm going to be spitting on the mic and keeping everybody entertained. So get around, come up, say hi, introduce yourself. I'd love to meet all of you. And should be an interesting weekend. But we're going to find out if it's real. It used to be the most prestigious event on the planet. Let's hope it is again.
That's right. I've just found this video here. I'd love to. This is your training partner, Steve Green. And you getting into it with him here.
Shit. Yeah, we got into it just a little bit. He's a little whiny little fag sometimes. I love him. He's absolutely, probably my closest friend on the planet right now. We're so competitive, and you give, depending on what side of the table, he's got the buckle, he's going to win this one. I get the buckle, I win. He's yelling, I'm too strong. And he is. He's a powerful cat.
Yeah.
He's talking shit. And we try to do the same thing. And he knows he's getting ready to get beat. And so, of course, God, I'm fat. That's so crazy. It's not, that's a big boy.
Oh, no.
Anyway, we now I crack him, and anyway, at the end I tug a little bit. He's like, don't fucking pull on my arm. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Go outside and fight about it? Because bye, Steven. It just matters who has the strap in our worlds here.
Right.
And we're just, we just have that ability to go back and forth. We train together every morning. So just think about how bad it is in the gym with him and I.
That's what I'm picturing here because
he's a wonderful human. I love him dearly. Like I said, I'd do anything for him, vice versa. But at the end, if you take it down, he ends up winning here, and then we have a good tug off there. Finally, I just said, you're going to whine and bitch until you get your way. So basically, I tugged on it. He got all pissed off, and of course he's all upset about it. He's like, I don't want to fucking. And something else, he tore something in his arm that day too. Ooh. And the guy has had Tommy John injury. He was pulling that guy out of San Diego or San Antonio. That foreign guy that pulled John Brzezinski. I don't remember his name, but ended up ripping all of that. And here's the great part. We're at a high school robotics deal trying to make money for these children. So we almost get into this huge fight.
I can see the kids in the background.
Then I jump on the mic and go, oh, we're just kidding. We're just playing. I hope you guys had fun.
Oh,
He'll come around the table after this. He's like, let's just quit now. Let's just stop now. That's what he's saying because he knows he can't beat me with the buckle on the other side. And then I think this is where I ended up saying, just take it. And then he gets all pissed off. And like I said, he's just a competitor. But it's quite funny. This is what he's saying right now. He goes, let's just stop right now, call it a draw.
that's because he doesn't want the buckle.
No, he knows he's about to get his ass kicked.
Oh no!
So, and then something. Yeah, this is where
Starts kicking off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he gets wound up. And I thought he was playing, because normally if somebody's approaching me like that, I'm just gonna ... I'm not gonna wait for it. And I kind of pull. Here we go again, of course, because we already made some set rules, minor hops and this and that. Everything's okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
And
I think I end up just saying, just take it. You can have it because you're whining and bitching so much. I don't care. He's going to get the buckle the next round. He's going to win anyway,
right.
in my mind. So this is where I say it. And then I pull on this thing. Watch when I say
go.
Yeah, I am. I'm yelling at this guy. Just fucking say go quick. There's where I jerk. See that?
Ah, yeah.
And then he gets all pissed off. Here he comes around the table.
Uh-oh. Shoving match going on here.
And he's not a fighter. He might scratch me real bad, but I just said, I'm fucking done. I'm out, man. I'm not going to fight my friends. I mean, shit. I love that guy. I'd do anything for him. I'd bleed for him. I'd shovel. I'd dig a hole. You know what I mean?
I've never seen that before. I didn't realize it was. I never to hear it was your training partner. I was like,
oh yeah, no, that's my right hand man. Stephen Green he's still a horse. Stephen has a confidence issue, so he had a really tough match with Dustin Tomlinson. Dustin's ranked 11th now, and Dustin ended up beating him doing the HBO thing that I did with Travis Bagent, and Stephen just pulled him wrong. I said, Stephen, if you change your technique, I mean, I don't have any problem with Dustin. Like I said, I'm able to pull through him just because I know how he pulls. But anybody else is going to have all sorts of trouble. That dude's a monster. And I'm sure that'll change soon too. I'm sure he's going to figure out what to do, to not allow me to, to jerk him out of his lanes. But Steven just has a problem with confidence. He doesn't like to lose. He wants to go out on a winning note, and he got his ass handed to him. He's like, yeah, man, I think I just better leave it where it lays. So
there you go. It's always good when you're against your friends because you can, all right, that's enough. Or if it's in a tournament or a super match, it's like, no. What are you doing?
Right.
You don't get to make the rules here. We're in charge.
That's right.
But, let me just quickly jump into some of the comments here, and then we'll look at wrapping things up for you there, Don. We've got Aaron Castillo says that he hopes the Arnolds can become something huge again. I still think there's a huge place for high-level tournament entertainment. That Don Underwood is working hard to bring that to fruition, and we'll see this year. And hopefully that does occur. Lagi agrees and says that tournament that we were showing before, where it was Dennis Plankoff and Richard Lupkes and Michael Todd.
Great event. Yeah, one of the best.
Absolutely. And Wagner Bortolado was the guy we were trying to think of.
Super stud.
Jack Jesus is his nickname, I believe. We've got another $5 super chat here from Eric Earnhard Harlan, and he says, Matt, appreciate you having your show after mine. Check out the Earnhard Experience, episode 12, 18-year-old kid who's arm wrestling royalty. Fantastic. Thank you again, Eric Earnhard Harlan, and he's obviously got his show going, and check that out. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Dimitri Kachin, I think that was the one that you were trying to think of.
That's who hurt Stephen. That is correct, gentlemen. Thank you for helping me out with that. Yeah, Dimitri, very talented. Stephen beat him quite easy the first match and got out of position and got a little cocky, and the rest is history. So
there you go. And the Drew 24 says, Don, how's your elbow? Looked like it may have gotten injured from that last match you had in a 4-way battle.
Oh, that's one of them Florida deals, man. Got educated down there. If your really, really good in the strap, and you know how to, I don't know what you call it, strap hustle or whatever. There is a thing, because I pulled this kid completely beat up afterwards and literally pulled him across the table like I was trying to steal his purse. And but I'm gonna tell you something, man. Those strap dudes are wicked. They're I mean, maybe 40% my strength, 50. But you pull long enough on a guy and you can't do nothing with him. I mean, he's going to catch up with you. He just let the strap do the holding. Ended up pressing me after about a minute or so, and then I just didn't have anything in the second match. I pulled Matt Matt's training partner after pulling a 4-minute match. I actually beat Matt Matt's training partner the first match, and that was nothing. I had nothing in my arm. No, I didn't hurt my elbow. It was just, just beat up from a long day. But no, I have no issues, nothing at all. I'm 100% ready to rock and hurt this young man's feeling this weekend. I don't know how I'm going to handle it. I don't know if I'm going to let him show me his power his first match and then adjust from there. I find that if I slow down, I'm more powerful. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. We've got several options to get the win, and I don't want to get too far behind. I've been known to get behind before and come back and win, so it's not something I'm concerned with. I've got to learn what I got in front of me, and then I'll adjust to it. Or I may just take off and try to rip his arm clean off his body. I don't know. My head's nasty. Might be faster than it ever has been. If you watch those Florida matches that I lost, I don't know. That should have been slip and losing position every time. But them rules, that's what I'm talking about. But congratulations to those guys for a great arm wrestling day. They got a win against me. So, hey, good for them, man. I don't have nothing but great feelings and admiration for those guys. But I learned something from it. So,
yeah,
they better be careful next time they're in the room with me, is all I got to say.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking at wrapping things up here. We've got a huge match for Don Hollywood Underwood coming up this weekend. Knuckles up 5. He's taking on the South African sensation, up-and-coming rising superstar. Don's looking to put him in his place, kicking back down the hill, and that is Rickard Bornman. It will be at New Jersey, 25th of January, Knuckles Up 5. You can go to the High Five Arm Wrestling website and you can buy the pay-per-view there. Or if you're anywhere in the area and you want to support high-level arm wrestling in this world and this country and the United States of America, buy tickets in person. Please go along and support the guys who are putting on these fantastic events, and you will get to see the legendary Don Underwood in person and meet the man, shake his hand, feel that grip, and see how much of a legend he actually is in person. Yeah. So thank you so much, John, for jumping on. Any last thoughts before we head off?
Just, I'm not the only legend. I'm not the only badass. This event is special. If you're anywhere in the New Jersey area, get your ass in town, man. Because if you haven't been to one of these, it's like $20 or $40 to get in. And then when it's done, they bring all the tables out and you're able to actually compete with the athletes, which is unlike any other sport in the world. It's definitely worth the trip. Drive it if you can. Get the pay-per-view. It's worth every cent. There's like 25 matches. It's stupid, man. For like $10. I mean, what else are you going to do, man? You can't, if you're going to waste money, waste it on what you love. And I don't mean like crack to you weirdos out there. So
that's the tagline for this episode.
That's where I draw the line.
Buy the arm wrestling stream, don't buy crack. All right. Fantastic.
All right, Matt. Well, listen, love your show. Keep up the good work. I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of this. So
sounds good. No worries.
Tune in and let everybody know. Are you live streaming? Are you live streaming on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll definitely do a live stream for the event. Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a shout out. I'll holler at you. Hopefully, if I ain't getting my ass whipped too bad, I'll remember you and maybe say something about you on stage.
No worries at all.